All right, what we have for review today is On the Border Mexican Grilling Cantina Mild Salsa. This is one of my favorite store-bought salsas, other than some variety types, but I really like this salsa because it has a good flavor, it's pretty clean. I like mild salsas because I like more of the tomato flavor rather than the spice flavor, but let's jump right into it. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the nutrition facts. All right, looking at the nutrition facts, serving size is 2 tablespoons. So it's actually not that much. We always eat more than 2 tablespoons every time we eat salsa, but remember, serving size is 2 tablespoons, which is 30 grams. There's about 15 servings per container, and that's only 10 calories. So thank goodness that even though we eat more than 2 tablespoons usually, it's only 10 calories in 2 tablespoons. Calories from fat, 0. Total fat, 0. Saturated fat, 0. Trans fat, 0. Polyunsaturated fat, 0. Unsaturated fat, 0. Cholesterol, 0. Sodium, 140 milligrams, 6% of your daily value in 2 tablespoons. Not that bad. Total carbohydrates, 2 grams. Dietary fiber, 0. Sugars, 1 gram. Protein, 0. Vitamin A, 4% of your daily value. 4% of your daily value. Vitamin C, 6% of your daily value. Calcium, 2% of your daily value. Iron, 2% of your daily value. Let's go ahead and look at the ingredients. Ingredients, number 1, tomatoes, onions, water, tomato paste, sugar, salt, jalapeno peppers, dehydrated garlic, spices, and natural flavor. Contains no artificial preservatives. Shake well before serving. Refrigerate after opening. The diamond has been a symbol of quality for 20 years. All right, this is very impressive. This is an extremely streamlined and very good ingredient profile, as well as a very good nutrition fact profile. Apart from a little bit of sugar and salt, and remember, in 2 tablespoons, how much sugar is there? There's only 1 gram of sugar. That's nominal. That's really nominal. Considering if there's 15 servings in here, in this entire container, there's going to be 15 grams of sugar. So, you know, we never sit down and eat the whole container, but if there's only 15 grams in here and that's 16 ounces, just imagine how much sugar is in the 16 ounces of Coke. In 12 ounces, we know there's about 40 grams. So this very nominal amount of sugar, that's why I really like salsa. I always have a couple bottles on hand because the health profile consequence is not that bad. Let's go ahead and just plot it real quick before we get started so we can get an idea. It is a tertiary food. I mean, it is a tertiary, kind of comprised of a bunch of secondary foods, minus the sugar and minus the salt. I would almost give it a secondary because it's just dehydrated garlic and tomatoes and tomato paste. But nonetheless, it does fall at a tertiary. But it's pretty streamlined profile. Let's go ahead and take a look at it on the scale of 0 to 10. I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10, maybe a 7. Actually, you know what? I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. You know, that I'm actually surprised by that rating too. I think it's an item you're better off eating than not eating because there are no preservatives. There's a nominal amount of sugar. You do have to watch how much you eat because of that nominal amount of sugar, but there's no preservatives, no artificial flavoring, and it's all natural. That's fantastic. So I would say a 7 out of 10, especially considering you're only supposed to eat a little bit of salsa as it is. And I'll tell you how I use this later on in the video. So I would say a 7 out of 10. Better off eating than not eating. You know, go ahead, eat the salsa. Don't even hesitate. You know, you never anticipate, since it's kind of a condiment type of food, that it would be so healthy, but in fact it is. So use it liberally. Okay, great. Moving right along and see what his glycemic index falls. On the glycemic index scale, for more information about these charts, check in my description below. I have explanations on these, but looking at the glycemic index, this is going to be estimated because I don't have an actual measured glycemic index on salsa. We're going to have to really look for it. Let's see, it's probably going to be somewhere where tomatoes are. Do I have tomatoes on here? I do. Tomatoes are down here. And now, since it does have some added sugar, I'm going to bump it up. Instead of being less than 20, I'm going to say it's about 20 to 25 on the glycemic index scale. Considering tomatoes down here, tomato is culinarily a vegetable, but it is technically a fruit. Okay, but it falls down here, so that's great. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at what it looks like, smells like, tastes like. Smells just like salsa. Actually smells kind of like SpaghettiOs or tomato paste or like a tomato soup. Here it even looks like that. It's not too chunky. It's a little bit watery, but I really like the balance of flavors in this particular one. It's pretty, it's not super chunky, but you can still see the peppers, the onions. Here's one pepper, look at that, wow. And the tomatoes. So I'm more of a chunky type of salsa. I like that more than watery salsa, but because of the flavor composition of this, I really like it. See, this is a little bit watery, but that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and taste it for you. Smells, you can definitely smell the tomato. That's the first smell that hits your nose, is the tomato, then the peppers, and then the garlic and spices. I'm gonna go ahead and taste it. It's really good. It almost tastes like a tomato soup. I would almost say this is a tomato soup. It's effectively a spicy tomato soup meant to be used as salsa. The way I use this, because I know that it's a good health profile and it adds a lot of flavor in terms of health consequence. So the way I use salsa is I put it on my beans. I'll make beans, I'll soak them, and then I'll boil them, and I won't flavor them. I don't flavor my beans with salt or anything for that matter. They're just plain old beans, and that's pretty bland. They're really, really bland. But regardless of what type of bean it is, I put this on top. I just put this one on top as if you would maybe like ketchup on French fries. But I put this on top and it gives it so much flavor and it makes my beans so much more tolerable to the palate and much more flavorful without much health consequence because of this very streamlined profile of ingredients and including it not having artificial flavors. So definitely always keep this in your fridge if you like salsa. I also eat it with tortilla chips occasionally, but I in fact have this at home right now with no tortilla chips because I eat this just added on foods. If I make like a burrito bowl at home, or I make just regular beans or anything that I'm thinking is a little bit bland and I want some flavor to, I literally just pull the jar of salsa on, put how much ever I like, and I'll eat it. And it makes the bland food that's healthy for you, much more tolerable to the palate and without much negative health consequence. All right, I hope you liked the review. That's how I use salsa. I also do eat it with tortilla chips. Hit the thumbs up button if you like the review. I hope that kind of gave you some insight into salsa is not that bad for you. It's actually good for you. But I mean, not all salsas are created equal. I know this one has a pretty good health profile. That's why I usually get it. So hit the subscribe button, click the thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.